genuinely can't believe where I'm seeing technology from when I was a kid. I just saw a video of this Christian man. I'll put a little clip right here, or a screenshot. So go check it out. Talking about Elon Musk, talking about the trajectory of where AI and technology is taking us and where he thinks it's going to go. And he straight up says he wishes he could have it slow down. Like he wishes that AI and technology would just chill out a little bit and like slow down. But that's not possible. Which there was a chip that was being put into someone's brain, and there's a video about it. He can look at a computer screen, and as long as he's thinking about where he wants the mouse to go, it goes. It's not his eyes moving it like his eyes are the mouse. No. As long as he's thinking, I want the mouse to click the search button, I want to go look at YouTube, and I want to type up this video, and I want to watch this. Boom, 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 boom. As long as he thought it, it happens. And I'm like tripped out because they talk about the mark of the beast in the Bible, and they talk about, what to expect closer to the end times, and how there's people getting chips right now just for convenience to go to the store and buy stuff and just to make their life easier. Like, because you're already lazy as it is. It's so hard to pull out your debit card and go play or pay or grab cash out or have to. This generation, man, I tell you. So people are already getting chips in their body for convenience. And, Elon Musk talks about how eventually in the future, where he thinks it's going to go is we're not going to need to work. Like, money's going to be meaningless. You can work as kind of like a hobby if you feel like it, but you're not going to get paid to work because work isn't the same as where he thinks working would be like in the future. Because robots and machines are going to be doing everything for us, so we can enjoy our life more. No, y'all just want more control over us. That's all it is. We're not going to be able to buy goods and services without a chip. We're not going to be able to do all of these things that y'all have an evil motive behind because of convenience. Y'all think it's cool that these robots will be able to do X, Y, Z, but before you know it, like all these movies about robots taking over the world, that's a real thing. And the fact that we're starting to see some of this even a little bit come to fruition is so crazy to me. Like, I think the embody of Christ lovers, like the embodiment of who we are to the core for Christ, I think as we're getting closer to the end times, we really, really need to like full blown come together, because when we can't buy goods and services because we know what's up and we're not going to get the mark of the beast, and y'all going to say, well, since you're not going to do what we want you to do, we're going to take this away from you. We're not going to let you do this. Okay, we need to have the biggest community to lean on. Straight up. That's how I'm feeling right now. Who's with me? Like, we need to start being able to like make our own crops, have our own animals, but if everyone has their own thing, like different families focus on different things, and us Christians can come together. All I know is I'll die for Jesus. I'm not getting no chip. I don't even care. Kill me. Take me out. Because I'm not about to do what y'all tell me to do. I don't trust y'all. I trust Jesus. 100%. All of this has been prophesied in the Bible too. Like what's to come. Go watch this video. It's mind-blowing, actually.
This chip is going to be able to provide Jesus-like miracles for individuals that get this in their brain, okay? And not only that, he gets asked about the humanoid robots, and he speaks about how life is going to be once robots completely take over the job force, okay? I want to show you those clips because it brings an interesting question that I've seen across the internet is how are people going to earn money, okay? And this is a question that we have to talk about today. All right.
Cybernetic superpowers, I think, is probably good. It can, help people that have brain or spine injuries, enable people who've never spoken for years to speak again, which we've done. Give people eyesight who have lost both eyes or the optic nerve, or maybe have never even seen at all, blind from birth. By direct interface to the optical centers in the brain, you can actually restore eyesight or give people eyesight that they've never had before. And you can enable people to walk again, which I think is profound. I mean, these are kind of Jesus level things, like say like when technologies are hitting like Jesus level miracles, you're like, that's pretty good.
Yeah. How do you, again, it's asked a lot, but it's fun to ask it to you. How do you prioritize? I mean, because you're right, you've got multiple deities
inside of anyone to get them to see or to restore whatever the case may be, whether it was someone who was lame and couldn't walk, someone who couldn't hear, someone who couldn't see, someone who was bleeding for 18 years. All Jesus had to do was give a command. And so as much as we can try to imitate Jesus level miracles, there's never going to be anyone that can perform what Jesus has done.
As a demonstration of what you can now do.
Here we go. This is the Link app. This is how I control everything. This is the app that they've uploaded onto my computer that lets me control the cursor. This is my devotional that I've been reading all the time, every day. And then this is me playing chess.
So wait a minute. You're moving the cursor. You're moving the cursor, Nolan, just by thinking about where you want it to go, or is it your eyes?
No, it's just me thinking about wherever I want it to go.
Oh, man. So
Yeah,
you're not
so-
even tracing it with your eyes. You're just looking at it.
Nope, I can move it, and I can move the cursor around, whatever I would like to do. I don't have to be staring at it at all. I mean, it's amazing. There's not even words to describe. Yeah, there's not even words to describe how amazing this tech is.
Okay, so in this individual, he said he was reading a devotional, so he happens to be a believer. You know, this is definitely a situation that is unique for someone who believes in God, and I'm not, I don't have the same problems as him, so I'm not going to try to look at him in a sense of he should never get this. Me personally, I wouldn't have done it, but real thing, like these things are actually happening. Chips are becoming more common to make life easier. Now, that is definitely something to keep caution, because we don't want to just be putting we don't want to be putting anything in our arms. All right, let's go back to Elon Musk. He's talking about what the world is going to look like for the public and people, families, once these robots are going to officially take over the job market, which is
because AI is going to take care of the rest, AI and robotics. What do you mean that people won't have to work in the future?
Assuming the current trend of artificial intelligence and robotics continues, which seems likely, the AI and robots will be able to do anything that humans want them to do, essentially. So hopefully not more than that, but AI and robotics will be able to provide all the goods and services that anyone could possibly want. So
But you wouldn't need to work? Like, what would you do with your free time?
I guess people will be able to do whatever they want with their free time. Work will be optional. I just want to separate out from what I wish would happen versus what I predict will happen, because people get confused about that. They think that what I predict will happen is what I want it to happen.
Yeah.
What I predict to happen is not the same as what I want to happen. If I could, I would certainly slow down AI and robotics, but I can't.
Here's a clip of him doubling down on his words on the optional work in front of some.
So
We'll take that.
yeah, I mean it'll be like playing sports or a video game or something like that. If you want to work, in the same way you can go to the store and just buy some vegetables, or you could grow vegetables in your backyard. It's much harder to grow vegetables in your backyard, but some people still do it because they like growing vegetables. That will be what work is like, optional. It's kind of interesting. And my guess is, if you go out long enough, assuming there's a continued improvement in AI and robotics, which seems likely, the money will stop being relevant at some point in the future. Currency becomes irrelevant. But AI and humanoid robots will actually eliminate poverty. And Tesla won't be the only one that makes them. I think Tesla will pioneer this, but there will be many other companies that make humanoid robots. But there is only basically one way to make everyone wealthy, and that is AI and robotics.
So he said that everyone's going to be wealthy, and that AI and robotics will eliminate poverty, and that work will be optional. And all of these things will make you think, okay, well, how are people going to earn money, right? If money's going to be irrelevant, like how do you pay for goods and services is the question, right? And this is the question that a lot of people have. I've seen it scrolling through different TikTok videos related to this topic. Many people are wondering, how are you going to actually earn an income? And the most likely scenario is that you won't earn an income, right? Because earning an income will take you doing work. If work is optional and work is being provided by robots that you don't own, right? Robots that are owned by big tech companies, then it seems like there will be some kind of similar to universal healthcare, universal salaries, universal.
So some people believe that everything that's happening in the world right now was actually predicted thousands of years ago. There's a passage in the Bible written almost 2,000 years ago, Revelation 13, verse 17. It says, a mark will be required, placed on your right hand or your forehead, and without that mark, you cannot buy and you cannot sell. This is called the mark of the beast. And for most of human history, people assumed that this was just a metaphor from the Bible, kind of symbolic message that ancient texts used to describe power and controls in ways that people could visualize at that time, because obviously nobody could imagine the technology that would make this possible today. But if you're paying attention to the world and everything that's going on today, it almost seems like everything we're watching is part of some manufactured crisis, a transition in human history with a new opportunity to centralize power.
We are now moving from the industrial age to the intelligent age. We are living in the transition to a new time, which will change everything. It will change how we communicate, how we work, how we live. But now in this new age, the base will be knowledge, data, and intelligent insights.
In the modern world, people call this prophecy the digital control grid. And I know how it sounds conspiratorial, but I want to show you some things that are actually happening right now. In 2025, a company co-founded by Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, started deploying a device called the Orb. It's a silver sphere about the size of a bowling ball, and what it does is it scans the iris of your eye to get what's called your biometric signature. It's the one thing about your body that's completely unique to you and can never be changed. Now, in exchange for that scan, you will get something called a World ID, which is a digital proof that you are a real human being. As of right now, over 18 million people have already done this voluntarily. Why would they do that? It's because in the world of AI and robots, how do you prove you're actually a real person? This is how. The World ID is now being integrated into apps like Tinder, DocuSign, Zoom, Shopify, and dozens of other platforms. Sam Altman said that proof of human will eventually be required by every website, every app, every transaction on the internet.
People are really going to need this. Really going to need to do this in a privacy-preserving way. So World ID is our effort at that, and our goal is to make World ID be this new proof of human for the internet.
At the same time, the United States passed something called the Genius Act, which is a law that creates a legal framework for stablecoins, aka digital dollars. And what makes a stablecoin different from the cash in your bank account is that it can be programmed. It can be given rules. Rules about where it can be spent, on what, and when it expires, and whether it works outside a certain area. The World Economic Forum is also now arguing that water, soil, and even the air we breathe needs to be assigned a financial value. It needs to have a price, and it needs to be measured.
Now we need to put the economics of water, not only in terms of monetary values, but also in terms of governance, in terms of recognizing water as a commons that we now need to manage as a broad systems approach.
If we're going to protect natural systems, one of the solutions is to bring nature onto the balance sheet, to bring nature into the ways that decisions are made within business, to allocate a value to it, and to bring it into accounting and financial mechanisms.
Basically means that the air and water should not be freely accessible. They should be a financial asset. And while all of this is happening, there's been a huge build-out of cameras, satellites, cell towers, and AI data centers in communities all across the world. Now, some of this framework was brought to light by Catherine Austin Fitts, who used to be the Assistant Secretary of Housing under President Bush. And she talks about a specific plan of how this is going to look like. She says that there's 3 parts that are being built that have never existed before in human history.
So there are 3 sort of pillars that I track. One is the programmable money, and that's what we at Solari are trying to stop. The second is the digital ID, because you need digital ID systems that are interoperable globally, and then the local hardware. And those are sort of the 3 pillars.
Programmable money, the global digital identity system, and the surveillance hardware to enforce both of those systems. And she says that when all 3 are complete, the people who control that system, aka the central planners, those people will not need laws to influence society. They're not going to need the police or the courts. If they want you to do something, and for some reason you're not doing it, they'll just turn off some important aspect of our lives. Whether it's the money we use, the IDs we need, or they could just restrict our ability to buy and sell or travel somewhere unless we comply.
My ministers will also proceed with the introduction of digital ID that will modernize how citizens interact with public services.
That's why some people believe that this was a prophecy that came from the Bible.
Okay, so I think we heard enough